All right, everyone. Welcome back to yet another episode of the Buckbuster Podcast, where we talk about anything and everything hockey. Can't even say bi-weekly episode anymore because at this point we do whatever we can. So that's why I'm just going to start saying welcome to the next episode. Anyways, I'm Kyle, surrounded by my co-hosts.
How's it going?
In the silence, you can tell that Colin is here. But first things first, so that ended up being, 3 weeks we took off instead of, or like 2 that we took off instead of 1. For those of you that don't know or aren't from Erie, we got hit with a pretty massive snowstorm, got hit with about 5-6 feet of snow within the last 2 weeks. Of course, literally like the weekend of what was supposed to be the next recording. So yeah, I'll see.
We legit couldn't get into the studio.
Yeah.
I couldn't get into the studio, a.k.a. I couldn't get home.
Well,
so.
it was to the point where,
You said I'm staying at your parents' house for like 2 nights, didn't you? Or just one night?
I went over Friday and I wasn't able to get at least on my road until like Monday, like lunchtime-ish.
Oh, wow.
So. Yeah, I left Friday morning. Bobo had to help. Like Bobo and one of our mutual friends had to help push me out from the end of my road because it wasn't plowed between Friday when it started snowing and Monday or some point Sunday night.
I mean, they called all the kids off of school Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. The kids only were in school one day last week.
Wow.
And Wednesday they went to school. Wednesday night when I left work, I got a text from my boss that said no school Thursday because of a blizzard warning, and we got the other 2.5 feet of snow Thursday.
Yeah.
It's
What's
ridiculous.
funny, literally, because last year our Erie's entire full winter was about roughly 26 inches. Well, just on Friday alone, we
surpassed that in one day. So.
Yeah.
Once we're on break,
not quite as bad as the blizzard of 2017.
No, they said we surpassed.
It was probably just as bad.
They said
some areas, Erie didn't, but I know some areas did, but Erie.
Well, yeah,
Erie didn't quite.
Considering in 2017 the airport only got like 3 or 4 feet, but out just south of 90. They got the full 5.5, 6 feet, 7 feet. Trust me, when I was living out with my parents, we got the full 7 feet.
It was the opposite this year. Didn't Waterford only get like 1.5 feet compared to we got like 3.5?
Yeah.
So I know Waterford or like the surrounding areas, Westville, Harbor Creek, Girard. I know they got hit the second time. The second wind.
The city was first half, and then the outskirts were second half.
Yeah.
Remind me once we go on break here. I want to try something in the backyard.
Oh boy, okay.
So once we go on break, once we get rolling, but that can wait. So.
Yeah. Also, like I said, as I was saying, with that break, hope all of our American friends had a happy Thanksgiving. Hope you got to spend time with your families. Thankfully, we did because the storm didn't come until after Thanksgiving, so we at least got to spend Thanksgiving with our families. I know my girlfriend had family in town from Pittsburgh that didn't get to go home that weekend because they couldn't get out of where they were stuck at. So it's pretty wild.
Yeah.
But we haven't gotten any extra snow here in a couple days now. So
I'm just one thing I gotta say. I'm already sad.
How on wood? Okay, please.
And it's supposed to snow again Wednesday.
Fuck you! Shut up!
Shut up. I'm already tired of the snow already.
Yeah.
I was tired Friday night.
We're supposed to get another 6 inches Wednesday. I've been watching the weather at work. Because
I can imagine.
being I'm a janitor,
you wouldn't know
being I'm a janitor, I have to do the snow blowing shit when no one's there.
You wouldn't know about 6 inches. You don't know about. Never mind.
6 feet? Yeah, you're right. I'm like crazy. I'm 6 feet from the edge, and I'm thinking.
Anyways, moving on. Bobo likes to do analogies that nobody knows what the fuck he's talking about.
No.
Yeah. Anyways, like I said, hope you guys had a happy Thanksgiving. Got to spend it with your families. And yeah, moving on. Let's talk some Otters hockey. Otters have been pretty good, doing decent since our last recording. Our last recording wouldn't have been since what the 15th or something.
Trying to.
Our last recording would have been on the 17th.
Was it really that long ago?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Otters game's going back to the 17th. On the 20th against the Steel, we had back-to-back home wins against the Steelheads and the Greyhounds, 7-4 and 6-3 respectively. And then we lost 2 in a row to the Attack or the Rangers in the Attack. All 4 of those games were at home. So we went 2-1-1 in that span. The overtime loss coming to the Attack.
And then one game was postponed.
And then one ended up being the Saturday, then the 30th, like I said, that weekend we got hit with all that snow. The game against the Firebirds was postponed. And then these last 3 road games happening this week, Thursday, Friday, and Sunday, against the Steelheads yet again. But North Bay, Sudbury, and the Steelheads, 4-3 overtime win against the Battalion, 5-2 loss against Sudbury, and then just earlier this afternoon of recording, Sunday the 8th, 5-4 win over the Brampton Steelheads. Which that was overtime. I don't know why that doesn't say OT win.
Yeah.
Either way, a win's a win. It's
Yeah.
2 points. So
in that span, we went, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2-1 in that span. So it's over 500. So
Yep. This is
and so we're winning games. We're getting some overtime losses, so we're still getting points too. We are still 4th in the conference, or in the 3rd in the division, 4th in the conference.
Yeah, they still are.
Yeah, 4th in the division. Yeah, 4th in the conference, 3rd in the division.
Because Kitchener and
Kitchener and London, the 2 best teams in the league, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kitchener and London, 2 best teams in the league, and then Windsor, Barrie, Oshawa. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Top 3 teams in the league all come from the Western Conference. So
Yeah, that Kitchener loss, that shutout was.
that was a rough. That was a rough game. That was
definitely in that stretch was the worst game.
definitely our worst game we've played. I think all season. That was a rough game.
And then since last recording, the Peterborough Petes had 4 more wins.
Hey,
They're 5-19-1-4 at 15 points.
Oh my god.
and then here's London at 23-5. We just ended their 19-game win streak.
19.
Just ended it to
This
Oshawa.
just in, Peterborough has been eliminated from the 2025-2026 playoffs.
I wouldn't doubt if they already have, to be completely honest.
And one thing that's been just fun in general, that's been going for the last 2 seasons. Easton Cohen having that 56 point
Point streak, man.
It's ridiculous.
I actually just found something on that literally I thought it was kind of interesting. I have it somewhere. I just had it brought up. I think I might hang on real quick. But yeah, there's an insane just between I'm sorry 55 point streak. But out of all the teams he has 8 points against and it was broken down based off all the teams. He's gotten a point off of Barrie. He's gotten 8 points, 3 goals. Brampton, he's got 2 points. Brantford 1, Erie 5, Flint 5, Guelph 9,
Wow.
Kingston 1, Kitchener 10, North Bay 2, Oshawa 3, Ottawa 1, Owen Sound 11, Peterborough 2, Saginaw 11, Sarnia 8, Sioux 6, and Windsor 10.
Damn, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, this is just between this year and last year, starting from November 18th of 2023 to.
Is it still active, or did he finally get one without?
It's still going.
It's still an active streak.
I know he got.
I knew he was in the 60s of consecutive games.
56 games currently.
Regular season, I
Yeah.
believe it is. Regular season games.
Because I know he didn't get a point after because he got hurt.
Yeah, he got a goal early in the game, but then got hurt off a hit.
It was a clean hit.
Yeah, he just got caught with his head down.
I know they both were shooken off because they both did not return to the game.
Yeah, the other guy went off because number one, he had to get stitches because apparently Cohen's visor hit him right on the cheekbone, had to get stitches. And then number 2, he was pulled for concussion protocol.
Oh wow.
And then I don't know Cohen's injury extent. I think they just pulled him just to be safe. Yeah, which I understand. For a top prospect, Cohen, or for anybody of that stature,
And he I know he had already gotten his point that game, but I mean, even if he hadn't, that's probably the least. That's the least of your worries at that point. Is when you keep him in, you got to keep the point streak alive. That's your least of your worries. His health.
Your number one star, your biggest goal now, this early in the season, is his health.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck whether you like the guy, hate the guy, like the team, hate the team, whatever. Number one priority is always your health. Yeah.
And
it doesn't matter.
I think what's kind of cool is former Maple Leaf Doug Gilmore actually shot him out, and because
Oh, did he?
Easton Cohen actually tied his point streak, even though it wasn't.
Oh, really?
Even though it wasn't, they're not. Because Doug Gilmore did it in 1960 with the Royals when they were a team back in the 60s, the OHL. But the OHL is not counting it as he broke it because it was off 2 seasons. But at least it's impressive that he kind of hit that mark of that point streak.
That's amazing. You'd love to see something like that in our league. We've gotten to watch him play. Obviously, being to Erie a couple times with the Knights and stuff.
And then depending how bad his injury is, he'll be in town on the 18th and that.
Yeah. I try to plan on being a Dyke. That'll probably be the next game I go to.
But I think that's one thing that's been fun with watching the London Knights is seeing his point streak go.
Yeah, we don't necessarily like the team as a whole, but watching him specifically, it's been insane.
Fun.
It's been fun, and it's been crazy to be able to watch him play. It's
even with him being in and out of the lineup with injuries, and then of course being called up to Toronto for preseason.
That's ridiculous. It's insane.
But I thought that was kind of one of the things that's been cool watching currently.
Yeah, and for Erie specifically, one of the most fun things I've seen so far this season is Matthew Schaefer in his second season. He's been this kid's been unbelievable.
He's been so much fun.
Only 16, 17 years old, and he's playing like some pro players would be. That assist he had to the Malcolm Spence goal just earlier this afternoon. That coast to coast goal he had in that CHL versus the United States Challenge or whatever it was.
He looked really good in those games.
Malcolm Spence looked really good in those games as well.
He did. But Schaefer had that incredible game winner the other night and on Thursday
against North Bay. Yeah, that was a really nice game winner. I think he broke up a play, then got a breakaway, and then just I had to feel in my heart I was I knew he was going to score that. Getting him on a breakaway is like getting Patrick Kane or getting Sidney Crosby on a breakaway. It's almost guaranteed.
Yeah, I think it was kind of funny. We could talk when we talk about milestones. I think it was kind of funny. We were all arguing over with our season ticket holder friend that sits in front of us during when Sam Alfano got his hat trick, and Schaefer was looking for a hat trick in that game. He's like, I want to see a Gordie Howe hat trick for Alfie. I was like, I want a Schaefer hat trick.
That would have been awesome.
Either Schaefer hat trick or Alfie Gordie Howe hat trick.
Yeah.
Then Alfie ended up getting the actual hat trick. Or is that we talking about a completely different game?
It was that game.
It was that game and that.
But I mean, the only thing I still think that the Otters need to work on is defense. They have looked a lot better. It's that second period slump, man. It's always it seems like we're always giving up goal. When we have a 2-3 goal lead, we won't give up those 2-3 goals in the matter of a period and a half, 2 periods. We'll give up that lead in the matter of 4 minutes. We just boom, 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 give up 3 goals back. We did that earlier this afternoon.
Yeah,
we're up 4-2 going into the third, and they scored 2 goals within the first 4 minutes of the third period and immediately tied it up. And I was like, motherfucker. But one of the people that we shat on a lot early season and last season have stepped up immediately. Owing a little bit of an apology to Nicholas Olamigo, who's been looked very, very solid this year.
He's been looking.
He is very much impressed or improved from last season. He's looking really good.
Which, granted, it isn't much to say considering there's only one way to go up from rock bottom. That's up.
Yeah.
So I know it's not saying much, but still, there's improvement. Improvement is improvement is improvement.
Yeah, no. I think we ended up cutting Keegan Knight, which I think he was one of our one of the rough patches of our defense.
And
one of the holes in our defense.
I get he's still a rookie now.
And same with Ambrosio is still young. Ambrosio is still very, very inexperienced, very young. He's still got a lot to learn, but he's got a lot of good guys in front of him to learn. I mean, most of our biggest guys, our good guys to learn from, are gone. Silva's gone. Obviously, Cameron Morton is gone for a couple years now. OJ's gone now.
And really, the main vets that are on the blue line right now is obviously would more likely be Sauter and that.
Sauter.
Yeah, Sauter would be the number one go-to.
He has gotten. He's also improved a lot from his rookie season. He also had a very a rough rookie season. Not rough, but just not good,
Not-
but not horrible.
Nothing to write home about.
But last season, I think I had called it. He ended up getting like a scrap in the scrimmage game or whatever. He got into a fight or whatever. I said, I wonder if that's just to prepare him to be more physical, and that ended up getting into a couple fights last year. So I ended up being right on that. I know he's gone very physical. I've seen him make a lot of great hits, and just all around defensively, he's been looking really solid too. Mm-hmm. So just more or less that third line where the couple players come in and out. Holmigo doesn't. I don't think he plays every game, but he goes in and out with Ambrosio. But now that with Keegan Knight gone now, I do believe Holmigo has been more full time now. So
Holmigo's been a full timer.
Yeah.
And with Schaefer usually being not started with mono, and with Schaefer in and out with World Juniors and being with Canada, it's Ambrosio that's more in and out.
Is it okay?
Because I think the pairings would be Schaefer and Sots, Henry and Holmigo, and then Davs and Ambrosio.
Okay. Davs is the other one that has not been the best this year. Might have been who I was thinking of.
He's been hit or miss.
Yeah, Davs has been just not the best. He had a decent. He's been good, decent. I can't speak.
Take your time.
He's been decently good ever since he came over in the Kyrou trade, but this year he's not doing too well. Not as well as he was in last season or the second half of the season where we got him. So, but yeah, man, I'm still very excited for this Otters team and to see what they continue to do the rest of this year.
There's still so much fun in it.
This is usually where we have the rough patch of our season, that December, January slump. But we've gotten out to such a good start, I don't think it's going to be a problem.
No.
And with Stain Butler being there and the experience that a Stain Butler has behind any bench, I feel like any team that he's a part of or that he's, the bench boss, I feel like if there might be one or two bad games here and there, but the next game it's going to be a good response from the boys, and you're going to be able to keep moving forward and keep the spot that you're in, that the position that you're in. So.
We said when we first hired him, he didn't make his first appearance by adventure until mid-February of the 22-23 season. So he only had maybe just over a month to get that team into the right headspace. Help them work on their discipline, and they've definitely worked on their discipline a lot. And we all saw what happened last year. His first full season as coach, we make the playoffs for the first time in 8 seasons. So,
and I even remember him saying, in his first interview with the team, he's like, even when the Otters were already out of the playoffs, he was just like, even the guys who are on the main roster, he's like, they're not. No one is safe in that. He's like, I'm watching everyone. He's like. And sure enough, he's like, and I even said when he had his full season last year, I'm like, now that with him having a full season, I expect he's going to do really good. And sure enough, look what happened. They're back in the playoffs.
Yeah, it's great to see, man. Hopefully, make it back-to-back years here. So, love to see that.
And hopefully into the second round this time around.
It all depends on who we end up making them up. Yeah. I assume and would hope we don't drop as far as 8th place. So we should end, if we stay in that 4 to 6 range, have a pretty even matchup like we did last year against Kitchener. I think we should be okay.
Yeah. I'm hoping we stay more towards 3 or 4. I know it's going to be tough catching London and Kitchener, but even just to have that home ice advantage, in the first round of the playoffs, whenever you talk, listen to these interviews from the Otters players, and they talk about playing in that building in front of their fans, you can tell they get so much energy, so much motivation to play better at home versus on the road. It's I feel like home ice advantage for the first round.
We've even seen some of these road games I've been watching. We even still show a good amount of energy in those too.
But
we saw Schaefer's shushing other crowd after his game winner the other night.
It's just taking it to the next level of how much better can they be again in the EIA. There's always one more gear you can go, and they always seem to show it at in Erie versus anywhere else, other than London, because London. But
it's London, but
that's besides the point.
London versus everybody.
No, it's London versus yourselves because you. No, I'm not gonna say that. I can't say that.
Anyways, Jeff, hit us with your milestones from the OHL this week, or past 3 weeks.
Yep, going back on to November 20th. Sam Alfano of the Erie Otters gets his first career OHL hat trick versus the Brampton Steelheads.
Hanway LP!
Then on the 21st, Mike Lavin of Seattle Kraken's Seattle prospect Andre Lashko gets his first career hat trick, and then Mike Levin of the Niagara also got a hat trick in that game as well against the Sioux. On the multiple in November 22nd, Alexander Balicki of the Kitchener Rangers gets his first career OHL goal versus the Windsor Spitfire. Mason Vicari of the Kingston Frontenacs played in his 100th career OHL game versus the Peterborough Petes. Sam Bonus of the Sioux Greyhounds gets his first career OHL goal versus the Erie Otters. That goal was bad. That was the own goal on that.
From Ty Henry?
Yeah.
That was that kid's first goal.
Yeah.
Who got credited? That's wild. Imagine that. Imagine your first career goal you didn't even technically score. You're not even the one that put it into the back of the net.
Yeah, that was not good. Charlie Burns of the Erie Otters gets his first career OHL point off of Matthew Schaefer goal. So both our goalies got their first point.
Erlenden's first assist was off of Henry's first goal, wasn't it?
Yeah, well,
That's amazing.
And then Callum Hughes of the Erie Otters gets his first career OHL goal versus the Sioux Greyhounds.
I'm really liking that kid. He's got a lot of energy, and he's still obviously young too.
He said
the Boston College Comet, only 18 years old, so
he said
he's got a lot of good energy. I like him.
So he's saying this year he wants to be very well developed before he gets ready to go to Boston, and but he's looked pretty good, and he's going to be fun to watch for the rest of the year. Logan Howery of the London Knights gets his first career OHL goal versus the Owen Sound Attack. Blake Smith of the Flint Firebirds played in his 200th career OHL game versus the Saginaw Spirit. And then on the 27th of November, Callum Majon of the Saginaw Spirit played in his 200th career OHL game versus the Windsor Spitfire. Liam Greentree of the Windsor Spitfire gets his 100th OHL assist versus Saginaw Spirit. And then Alexei Madavev of the London Knights in 31 saves gets his first career OHL shutout and 6-0 victory versus the Peterborough Petes. Hudson Hurt of the Sarnia Sting gets his first career OHL goal versus the Brampton Steelheads. And then on the December 2nd, Anaheim Ducks prospect Beckett Seneca gets his second career OHL hat trick versus the Kingston Frontenacs. And then Winnipeg Jets prospect Colby Barlow of the Oshawa Generals gets his 200th career OHL point off of a Beckett Seneca goal, one of his goals. Cole Brown of the Brantford Bulldogs playing in his 200th career OHL game versus the Kitchener Rangers. Tommy Butnick of the Guelph Storm played in his 200th career OHL game versus the Brampton Steelheads. Austin Elliott of the London Knights gets his second career OHL shutout in a 3-0 victory versus the Owen Sound Attack. December 5th games. Ryder McIntyre of the Peterborough Petes played in his 200th career OHL game. And Blake Gowen of the Peterborough Petes gets his first career OHL goal versus the Sarnia Sting. Bold Stewart of the Barrie Colts gets his first career OHL goal versus the Flint Firebirds. And Tyler Challenger of the Erie Otters gets his first career OHL goal versus the North Bay Battalion. Finally, it's great to see he finally got his first after especially that fourth line, it just hasn't
Hasn't been scoring.
been scoring. They've been on their forecheck has been good. It's just they just can't hit the net or anything or get anything in the net. Couple in December 6th, Ethan Dean of the Sudbury Wolves gets his first career OHL goal versus the Erie Otters. Jonathan Melee of the Peterborough Petes played in his 200th career OHL game versus the Brantford Bulldogs. Jackson Parsons of the Kitchener Rangers gets his 8th career OHL shutout in a 3-0 victory versus the Sioux Greyhounds. Mark Wagner of the Brantford Bulldogs gets his 100th career OHL point versus the Peterborough Petes. Saginaw Spirit head coach Chris Lazari gets his 200th career win in versus the Oshawa Generals. And that's all we have for the OHL milestones.
That's it.
Yep.
Yeah, we're gonna take our little studio timeout here and be right back with you. All right, let's jump into some Puckdoku.
All right, going across for columns, we have Dallas, Vegas, and St. Louis. For the rows, going down, we have Carolina, Detroit, and 500 plus penalty minutes in their career.
So we could use Ryan Reeve, probably Vegas or St. Louis for penalty minutes in a career.
Him and Robert Bertuzzo.
Bertuzzo for the Blues, and then Ryan Reeves for the Golden Knights.
Yeah.
I would assume. I can only assume that they have that many.
Definitely Ryan. I would say
Yeah.
definitely Ryan.
60%. Bertuzzo have that many? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
100%.
Nice.
Jamie Benn probably I know has probably quite a few too.
Yeah.
But how many? That's the real.
I mean, he's been around for what 20 years now, so I could only assume he has at least 500 by now.
Trying to think where else. Cam Ward for Carolina, Dallas. Did Cam Ward? No, Cam Ward just spent his whole career. Never mind.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll save that Jamie Benn one for the very end there.
Perron for St. Louis and Detroit.
It can be Vegas, Detroit too.
We can hold on to them in our back pocket for. I'm just trying to think who was drafted in the expansion draft for Vegas from both Colorado and Detroit.
You mean Detroit? Or you mean Carolina and Detroit?
Yeah, that's right. They both start a C, okay? As long as you don't burn down the whole city of Colorado.
My buddy lives there. I won't do that.
It's a state!
Shut the hell up.
I mean, I feel like which one would be easier for Perron us to put on for us to put Perron under? The Detroit, Vegas, or Detroit, St. Louis?
Probably St. Louis, because Vegas being the newer team, they might have more names.
Well, I think they'd have less names because they're newer. I
Yeah.
cannot think for the life of me who they would have taken from Detroit.
Your Marcia said? No. That's the wrong team.
Where's Marshall show before Vegas?
Florida.
Florida? Okay.
Yeah. Did James Reimer ever play for St. Louis?
I don't think so. What about Vegas?
Detroit, St. Louis, Philly Huso.
Oh, yeah.
I was just
Good
about
pull,
to say
good
goalie
pull.
tandem.
And now we can put Perron under Detroit, Vegas. Good pull, good pull.
Yeah.
I was thinking goalies for Detroit, like.
He was
Wait,
like
Detroit, Vegas.
7.
Yeah, Perron, yeah. I think their expansion, their first year, they had like 5 former Penguins on their roster at one point. I think now Seattle is the same way. I think Seattle has like 4 or 5 former Penguins.
Could Dallas, Detroit be another goalie?
It could be.
That's what I'm trying to figure.
Dude, with how many different goalies Detroit has gone through
That's
this.
what. That's where I'm thinking.
Because I know, did Talbot play in Dallas? I know he's jumped around.
I don't think
No.
Cam Talbot. I don't think so.
Not can't. Who's
He's always stayed closer to the border.
Okay. I knew he bounced around a lot. I just couldn't remember.
Yeah,
It's just.
what
I
about
think the
Max
furthest-
Talbot?
I think the furthest
Max
south
Talbot, no.
Okay.
that Cam ever went was LA. I think that's the furthest south he's ever been.
L.A., Philly, Edmonton, Calgary, Detroit,
Minnesota.
Minnesota. No, I think it was Chicago at one point
No.
now.
Peter Mrazek. I know
That's
he's
another
had
one
a
that I'm
few teams.
thinking. Yeah, that's another one I was thinking.
I said if Carolina was where Dallas was, it would have worked.
Yeah. Because we're already blanking, I'd say put Jamie Benn under the 500-point one. I would assume he's gone that
Yeah.
many, and for as long as he's been around. Yeah, okay. All right, so we just need Detroit or Dallas, Detroit, and then Carolina. All of Carolina's row. So Carolina, Dallas, Carolina, Vegas, Carolina, St. Louis. Trying to think of maybe defensemen are coming to mind.
Brent Burns was Minnesota, San Jose, Carolina.
Yeah.
Was Gensel was anybody
No.
before the
Just
Penguins?
just
Okay.
Pittsburgh.
Where all has Dougie Hamilton played?
Where was he before Carolina?
New Jersey.
Jersey,
Oh yeah, that's right, Jersey.
Toronto. I don't know where else.
Oh, never mind. Never mind.
Who's
Who are you thinking?
who's Carolina's goalie tanger now? With Freddie being out.
That's a great question. It's Peter Kochetkov, and I have no idea who their backup would be right now. Or if somebody else is the starting. Kochetkov is the backup. I have
Freddie
no idea.
Anderson? No.
He's down right now.
Well, either way, Freddie was Columbus, Toronto, and Carolina. So it can't be him.
Freddie Anderson played for Columbus? Really?
No, Anaheim, sorry.
Anaheim, okay.
Anaheim, Toronto, Carolina.
Who would Vegas have taken from Carolina?
Tim Thomas was only ever Boston and Dallas.
I believe so.
Well, why don't we start with who's?
Ben Bishop was only ever, I know, Tampa and Dallas for sure. I feel like he played for a couple teams beforehand, but I'm trying to remember who the teams were.
Who's Carolina's starting five? Could it be a possible forward, maybe a defenseman, and not a goalie?
Well, that's what I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think of who they would have taken in the expansion draft.
Because I'm trying to think who they're starting.
Who was Ron Hainsey? Who all did he play for?
He's played for Carolina for a little bit, Pittsburgh, Toronto.
Did he ever play for any of those three
Florida.
teams? My best guess out of those would be St. Louis.
I was going to say Dallas.
I'm going to say Dallas. I feel like there's one that's current that's on one of those teams. If for some reason the Carolina St. Louis is screaming goalie, I
No.
don't know who. What are you thinking?
Initially, it says Svechnikov, Andrei Svechnikov.
Only in Carolina.
Andrei Svechnikov.
Yeah, Andre. Only in Carolina.
What about Evgeny Svechnikov?
Washington,
Detroit,
Detroit.
Carolina.
No.
Do we want to throw Ron Hainsey out there for one of those?
Who do we feel better on, Dallas or St. Louis? I'm saying New Jersey, Dallas.
New Jersey, Dallas?
Or Carolina.
For Ron Hainsey?
Yeah.
Go for it. I would say more St. Louis, but I mean, if you were more confident with Dallas. No.
Fuck.
Okay. Detroit, Dallas. I'm thinking, I don't think Scott Wedgwood was ever with Detroit.
Alimano's been Pittsburgh, Detroit,
LA.
LA.
And now where else is he now? I know he left Detroit. Where'd he go? I don't think it was Dallas, so it doesn't help us. Was it Utah? Alimano went to?
Where all has Robin Lehner been?
Buffalo,
Islanders,
Vegas.
Was he with Detroit at one point? I don't think he ever played for Carolina though.
So he doesn't help.
I don't think so. Another one I'm thinking is Thomas Greiss, but I don't think he would fit anywhere. Obviously, Brodeur don't fit anywhere. Damn, this is a tough one. Oh, where did Ron Francis play? Carolina.
Pittsburgh.
Did he ever play with Did he play for St. Louis at one point?
I don't know.
And do we have any other guesses?
Yager would only be Dallas, St. Louis. Which again doesn't
Yager?
fucking help. Yeah.
Yager didn't play for St. Louis.
No, not in mine.
And Brindamore was just
Just the
Carolina.
What about Penguins legend Riley Shahan? I know he played for Detroit too. Did he play for Dallas?
I thought he played for St. Louis at one point.
I'm thinking Matt Cullen because he's done Carolina.
Where else would he fit there?
Carolina, Minnesota, Pittsburgh. Fuck.
This one's a tough one. Do we just want to throw Ron Francis for Carolina, St. Louis? I don't think it is, but no. Wow. I think we give up on this one. And I know we might do a second one. No. All right. And then, I have no clue.
Go up.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, we gave up only 5 out of 9 on this one. That's rough for us.
Max
Domi. Oh, Justin Falk. Max Pacioretty.
UC Okinen, Ray Whitney for Carolina, Dallas.
Kevin
Brendan
Hatcher.
Smith.
For Vegas.
Max Pacioretty.
Vegas.
Noah Hanifin. So recent too.
William Carrier, Nicholas Waugh. Okay.
Chris Pronger.
Rod Brindamore played in fucking St. Louis?
Apparently.
Since the fuck when?
It's funny, I said him too.
Tom Barrasso. Ian Cole. Yeah. I think we could have eventually gotten there. What about Detroit, Dallas?
Like Madonna, Brett Hall, Trevor Daly, Sean Avery, Brad Richards,
Vlad Nemestikov.
Steve Ott.
Brendan Smith. Yeah. Wow. That was rough.
Oof.
Let's go back to like the main menu there. See if we can do a different day.
I gotta log
Because
in.
that was a rough one. Let's do the pyramid, the Puckduka pyramid. Right there in the middle. Let's try this one. All right.
And then every time we fucking struggle.
All right. 50-point season at any point in their career. We can literally do anybody. Just as long as it wouldn't take up the other categories. So I say do Sidney Crosby because Sidney Crosby doesn't fit in anywhere else. So. All right. So any Swede to have a 50-point season.
Timo.
No, he's Finnish.
Okay.
Was Alfredson Swedish?
Thinking Erik Karlsson.
That's what I was.
Yeah. Okay.
That was my.
Because he wouldn't fit up top because he didn't play for the Rangers. A 5-goal season. Anybody scored? Was Alfredson Swedish?
Me, I don't know.
I know Matt Sundin was Swedish. I think wasn't he?
What's
I'm almost positive Matt Sundin was Swedish. Yeah. Okay. All right. So Rangers Swede that had a 5-goal 50-point season.
Mika, is he?
Zibanejad?
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to think of the first time.
Is he Swedish or is he?
I'm trying to remember. I know he's.
Sweden or Finn? Damn it, my manager's even Swedish, and he would know this.
I'm trying to think of other Swedes. What was Messier? Was he? He was just Canadian, wasn't he?
Yeah. It's 9:30. My manager's probably drunk at this point.
Nice.
I love him, but he's probably fucking drunk.
Because Zibanejad came from did he come from fucking Ottawa?
Yeah.
So I think he would fit at the top, right? So save Zibanejad for the top, because he came from Ottawa. Because he was on that 17 team that Penguins beat out.
Yeah, and
So he would fit at the top there.
Yeah, you'd fit in all categories.
So realistically, I think we could probably use our 2 lifelines here and then take the top one for Mika Zibanejad.
Fill in the blank.
Fill in the blank.
That doesn't fucking help.
No, it does not. Oh, Marcus Naslund? I believe you're the spelling. Oh, yeah, it's right there. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, thank God.
Nice.
And then it could use the other lifeline here for the 50-50. Michael Nylander or Eric Gustafsson? Oh, shit.
I think Gustafsson is the Swede, though.
I'm not even too familiar with Eric Gustafsson.
Well, what nationalities are William Nylander and Alex Nylander?
That's what I was.
I'm pretty sure they're Swedes.
I thought they were Swedes.
Normally the double S is a Swedish thing, I thought. A double S in a name like that, I thought that was a Swedish.
I'm just not familiar with Michael and that.
I would only guess that it's some relation.
So, at least relationship wise, if they are related or not.
I say Nylander. Nope. It was Gustafsson, wasn't it? Which one? Oh no!
Oh shit!
Do the 2025 one. Yay! And was it Zibanejad?
Again, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
God damn it!
We knew it too. We actually
Shit.
and we actually knew it too. That's what's
Carlson, Hedman, Sundin.
Both Sedin twins, Zetterberg.
William Mia.
I was gonna say, I thought the double S's was a Swedish thing. So.
Crosby was a popular pick too. That's funny.
Wayne Gretzky.
Literally anybody that had a 50-point season. Kane, Kaprizov, Bedard.
The list goes on and on and on.
Brad Boys, I saw there.
Svetch. Only one person used Andrei Svechnikov. Mandy Beniers, Dawson Mercer. Wow. Let's do one more random, like Puck Doku.
I think that bothers in the fact we knew it too.
Hold on.
Let's go far. Let's go back.
First ever date, July 1st, 2023.
All right.
Fuck it. Okay. For the columns, we went the Penguins, Calgary, and $5 million or more in free agency in 2016. And then we have in the rows, Boston, Vancouver, and the Oilers.
Okay. Penguins, Bruins. Penguins, Oilers. Just Schultz, yeah. I was thinking Archibald, but.
And then Cam Talbot
yeah.
for Edmonton.
Or when did he sign with Edmonton? Would he go with the Edmonton free agency category in this one?
And then we could do Mike Smith or Cam Talbot for the Edmonton Calgary.
Yeah, but when did they switch?
I don't remember because it was a trade.
Was it just a trade?
It was a
Okay,
trade.
okay.
So.
Vancouver, Calgary, Chris Tanev.
Oh, yep.
Pittsburgh, Vancouver, Brock McGinn, because he's over in Vancouver.
Yeah.
Brock McGinn, you got Nick Bonino, Brandon Sutter. So
Bonino.
yes, Rock.
Rock McGinn.
That's still one of my
What?
favorite school calls.
Has he not played a game yet? He might not have played a game yet.
I swore
I doubt we're going to get the other three, so.
Swore he did, and that's why
Pittsburgh, Boston,
Jerome
McGinley. Yeah. Iggy.
I was going to Yager.
I was going to do Yager for the Boston Calgary one.
Oh, that Well, we can do Yager or Iginla for
either one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, true. All right, who would have signed as a free agent with Boston in 2016? I feel like that might have been the year that the year that Lucic went over there to Boston, or would that have been way before that?
No, he was already in Boston.
Could we do-
Because remember, he went.
But did he sign? Would have been
Calgary,
around the time that he signed another contract there, like
Could we
extended his
do McDavid
contract.
for Edmonton? Or is that too early?
He wouldn't have been a free agent.
Okay.
Not yet. He would have still been on his rookie contract in that year.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of people that would have went to Edmonton in 2016. No, RNH. I think Hall might have just been leaving right about the time he'd have been leaving.
Hall would have been leaving. McDavid would have been on his rookie contract.
RNH.
RNH.
Well, he was drafted in what 2012.
12, so he might have been, but
That might have been his contract year. I say throw the guess out there because I don't know if we're going to get the other two. No, other one. That's Boston.
No sketch.
Nope. Okay.
When did Tyler Miners leave Buffalo to go to Vancouver? I think it was 18. Now I'm
Might
thinking
have
about
been.
it.
And that'd be like the only decent guess I would even have. So. Yeah. No. All right. I forget. Like, the stats aren't available from before July 25th.
Yeah, oh yeah, fuck.
Damn. All right. Well.
We got 6. 6 up
6
9.
and then 5, and then we almost got a perfect on the pyramid because we just clicked the wrong name.
Shit. Alright.
Alrighty.
Blind rankings, right?
Yep.
Or I'll do do that first. When we do my milestones first.
Let's do your milestones first,
Okay.
first and then.
All right. So I switched mine up. I changed mine up a little bit. Instead of going by dates, I split mine off into categories for like first goals and goal milestones, point milestones, games played, and then assists, and then wins for like goalies and stuff. Starting off with goals, and I don't have the dates. These are particularly in pretty good order from time of date, but I don't have the exact dates that these all happened. This was shortly after we took our break. Alex Ovechkin recorded his 31st career hat trick. Those were goals 864, 865, and 866. Just what, 20 shy of Gretzky's now? I think that he got injured shortly after. I think that's when he got injured, 2 games after that. I think he got a goal in that game. He got hurt, didn't he?
He did.
So he's at least 868, 869 by now. Zachary Lahero of the Nashville Predators scored his first career goal against the Canucks. Fraser Minton of the Toronto Maple Leafs scored his first career goal against the Golden Knights. Callahan Burke scored his first career goal against the Montreal Canadiens. And then Sidney Crosby scored career goal number 600 against the Utah Hockey Club.
Yeah, baby!
Oh, Captain
600. Emile Andre of the Philadelphia Flyers scored his first career goal against the Vegas Golden Knights. Cole Reinhardt of the Ottawa Senators scored his first career goal against the Calgary Flames. Nico Hischier finally recorded his first career hat trick. Tyler Kleban of the Ottawa Senators recorded his first career goal against the San Jose Sharks. Brett Berard of the Rangers scored his first career goal against the Hurricanes. Luis Crevier of the Chicago Blackhawks scored his first career goal against the Dallas Stars. Taylor Hall recorded his 5th career hat trick. That one was his first since 2013-2014 season when he was an Edmonton Oiler.
Jesus.
So he never scored a hat trick for the Devils, never scored a hat trick for Boston or Arizona, or it's in Boston the short time he was there, obviously for Buffalo for the 4 games he played there. Braden Point recorded his 5th career hat trick as well. Ethan Cardwell of the San Jose Sharks scored his first career goal. Fedor Svechkov of the Nashville Predators scored his first career goal. Owen Pickering, obviously of your Pittsburgh Penguins, scored his first career goal against the Panthers. And Tyson Kosak of the Buffalo Sabres scored his first career goal against Utah. Moving on to the point milestones, Kel Marker recorded his 100th career multi-point game. He's been in the league for 6 years, and he already has 100 career multi-point games. That's ridiculous. Max Sasson of the Vancouver Canucks recorded his first recorded an assist for his first career point. Yaroslav Askarov, yes, the goaltender of the San Jose Sharks, recorded his first career point. Timo Meyer recorded his 400th career point. Lucas Raymond recorded his 200th career point. And Matt Tkachuk recorded his 600th career point. And then games played. This is where we have the most by far. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins played in his 900th game, along with Ryan Strome, also played in his 900th career game. Claude Giroux played in his 1200th. Zach Hyman played in his 600th. Noah Anafin 700. Cam Talbot 500. OEL and William Karlsson both 700 as well. And then Kevin LeBlanc, Mikhail Sergachev, Jesper Bratt, and Brandon Tanev all played in their 500th. Mitch Marner and Ryan Hartman in their 600th. Dougie Hamilton in his 800th. Sidney Crosby in his 1300th. Michael Kesselring in his 100th. Mike Sullivan coached his 700th game. And Anze Kopitar played in his 1400th game. Which, fun fact about that, split right down the middle for 700 played at home, 700 played on the road at that point. I found that very crazy.
That's
Like, you would think, but he had to have missed a couple games here and there, or been injured, or, out with illness, whatever. But it just still happened to be, he's played the exact same amount at home as he has on the road.
That is.
I found that pretty wild.
No, he plays for the Kings.
Assist milestones. Mikael Granlund recorded his 400th career in assist with an apple to a Jake Wallman goal. Dylan Larkin recorded his 300th career assist. Victor Hedman became the franchise leader in assists for the Tampa Bay Lightning with 590, passing St. Louis, who had 588. And then Quinn Hughes became the Vancouver franchise leader for assists by a defenseman specifically with 311. For wins for goaltenders, Jake Allen recorded his 200th career win. Yaroslav Askarov, the guy I mentioned earlier, also in the game where he got an assist, he also got his first career win in that same game. So what a game for him. The boy we love most out of anybody, Jordan Binnington, becomes the Blues franchise leader in all-time wins with 152. Did so in 298 games, and in that span he has 16 shutouts. Eric Portillo of the Los Angeles Kings recorded his first career NHL win in his debut. His first game he played, he gets a win. And then Jackson Stauber.
Baby back,
bitch. Jackson, we're talking about Binnington, not Portillo. Portillo didn't do anything. Jackson Stauber of the Utah Hockey Club.
Isn't Portillo's a food chain?
I think so, like on the like Eastern, West Coast, or like Mountain Time, like the Middle Coast. Then Jackson Stauber of the Utah Hockey Club recorded his first career shutout, that also being the first shutout in Utah Hockey Club franchise history.
Shocker.
There's a couple of them in Arizona that I might have to check out.
Really?
Wait, there's one in Florida?
Portillo's?
Yeah, Brandon, that was only like a 40-minute drive from me.
Bradenton?
Or Nan. St. Pete! Are you kidding me? I could have went there the whole time! Oh, I can't say that stuff on the air. Shoot! I could have went to Freddie Portillo's this whole time, and
Damn.
What is
I'm sitting there like, I don't know what to do anymore.
What is Portillo's? Never even.
It's just this fancy, not this fancy chain. Oh, I don't even know.
It's not fast food, but it's not like a 5-star restaurant.
Okay. So it's like an Olive Garden?
More like a
TGI Fridays and Jimmy John's had a kid.
Oh, really?
Oh!
It's a Friday style setting, restaurant setting.
Yeah.
But they serve fancier Jimmy John's food.
Okay.
Interesting.
That would be actually really cool to check out.
Colin, I know you said you have a couple blind rankings for us, correct?
I have two of them.
Two?
I'm gonna pull it up here on the big screen here.
Okay.
First one. Cup losers over the past 2 decades. So this goes back to the NHL lockout.
Okay. Teams? These teams or these?
Teams.
Okay.
Penguins?
How are we ranking them based on what?
Based on overall skill and team.
Based on how good the team was.
Yeah. How good was the team when they played in that cup final?
Okay.
Or that season.
But these are specifically cup losers.
Cup losers.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay.
So, like, if I were to pick the 16-17 Nashville Predators, how would we rank them, pretty much?
Okay, gotcha.
So, the first one up is the 2014-2015 Tampa Bay Lightning.
Okay. From what I remember, this was definitely not the best team that they had because I don't think they had Kucherov yet. I don't think they had Kucherov yet. If they did, he was young. He was like 19, 20 years old if they did. Stamkos was still fairly young, like probably 24, 25.
Stamkos was the captain at the time.
Was he already the captain?
Captain
He was still young.
Ben Bishop was in the roster. They lost not to Corey Crawford. Or no, this is the first cup that Corey Crawford was the number one goaltender in Chicago.
Really? Okay. Who was the number one in like 10 and 13?
Not Crawford. I can't remember who else, but either way, the 14-15 Tampa Bay Lightning.
I'd put them right in the middle. Just to start off, I think right in the middle.
Yeah.
Said Stamkos was still fairly young, but this is still pretty much in his prime. I think this is 2 years post 60-goal season. I believe because I think he did that in 2012. Yeah, I think right in the middle is like fair.
Yeah.
For that one.
All right, the bubble Canadians, the 2020-2021 Canadians.
The Cinderella run they had.
Or a little bit beginning of the 1920 season.
No, the 21. That
wasn't the bubble. The bubble would have been the start.
Or after the bubble. Well,
okay.
The one they had the
full COVID season.
Yeah,
the
reconfigured like.
You got the Canadian division and then West, Central, and East.
Just with how much of a Cinderella run it was, I want to say 5. Like they had no business getting that far. No. They had no business getting that far. And then seeing how they played the year after and how they've played ever since, yeah, that was a fluke and a half.
All right, the 2006-2007 Ottawa Senators, when they lost in 7 to Anaheim. Okay. Either way, they lost to Anaheim.
Okay. I'm not too familiar with how good that team was. I know Alfredson probably would still been around for that team.
You had the pizza line.
Pizza line?
So it was Danny Heatley, Alfredson, and Spezza at the time. A young Spezza.
Wow.
That was known as the pizza line.
Okay, I did not know that.
For whatever reason, that's whenever all three of them got on the board, everybody got a free slice of pizza at the local establishment right down the road from the arena.
Okay, that's why they call it the pizza line?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, they were like the HBK line of their time.
Only because I feel as though he might give us a really good one and then a really shitty one. So I almost want to put this at 2. He could be fun with us and then give us 2 extremely shitty ones after this. Who knows? So we might end up putting the fucking...
Next up, the inaugural 16-17 Vegas Golden Knights when they lost in
17-18.
See, that was that was a phenomenal. That was definitely a phenomenal run. But
that was
being I don't know. Being that they kind of had the best of the best players picked out already. It's kind of that.
It's in that it was their first year as a franchise, and they went all the way to the Cup final. The first team, I think, to ever do that in their inaugural season.
And they lost in 5 to the
Capitals. Yeah.
I put that
especially seeing that they were down to a fucking 6th goaltender at one point. If I remember, I think it was Flower, Subban, I think Lagasse at one point, Oscar Dansk at one point. It was, I want to say, Dylan Ferguson at one point. Like, they're down to they had played I think 7 or 8 different goaltenders that year.
Yeah.
I would put them at 1. They were. I mean, that team was just seeing that they were able to get to that point, minus all the goaltending, not struggles, but just all the problems that they faced in between the pipes. That's pretty impressive for them.
So at the number 4 spot, you guys would put the 2008-2009 Detroit Red Wings.
Yeah, okay.
Ethan will be pissed at you. He will be pissed at you.
He'll be pretty upset. I mean, that was a great team.
It really was.
Honestly, I mean, I don't know how good the Senators were. And I wasn't quite religiously watching hockey when the Lightning lost that year in the 14-15. I didn't start religiously watching hockey till the season after.
Yeah, the center.
Yeah, honestly, if we bump Detroit up, I think swap them out anywhere between 2 and 3, that'd be a perfect list. I think we did well with the Canadians being down there. I think we did perfect with the Golden Knights being up there.
Yeah.
I think the Golden Knights were better than Detroit, but I think Detroit is debatably better than both 2 and 3. So we could have swapped Detroit and Ottawa.
Technically, the official rankings, if we can change it, would be 1, 4, 2, 3, 5.
Yeah, I think 2 and 3 I think are interchangeable. I don't think there's
2,
much
3,
difference.
Honestly, 2 through 4 are interchangeable, honestly.
I think Detroit could drop as low as 3, but I think they realistically probably could have been at 2.
Yeah.
Because you still had all the stuff. I mean, most of them were getting older. Like, Lindstrom was obviously getting older. Zetterberg was starting to get up there. Dotsuk was getting up there in age. Alfredson wasn't quite there yet. I don't think he went over until, 14.
Yeah.
Because he only played 1 season there.
Because out of those 5, the one I'm not familiar with was the centers, just because I was just starting to get into hockey at the time.
Yeah.
That was rough. I'd been going to more Otters games at the time, but I was not familiarized with players. Because that's the only time, at that time, I was only really paying attention to the Penguins and the Sabres at the time. So
Yeah. There's pictures of me being 3 or 4 years old sitting in front of the TV watching the Penguins with my dad, but I was 3 or 4. I don't know what the hell was going on.
Yeah.
But, I remember, like I said, I think I told the story before. I remember back when we won in 2009, the way our house was set up, I sat at the end of the hallway where my room was and could see the TV. So I just sat at the end of the hallway and could watch us win the cup that year. So I remember doing that.
So I have friends, like family friends that I've known for a long time that live down in Pittsburgh. And I remember during that run, the magical run in 08-09, we went down, my family and I went down during the semifinals, playing the Capitals. And I think this is game 2 when the dueling hat tricks. And
that one was in Washington.
Yeah.
Okay, but okay.
So it was in Washington. We went down to visit the family friends, and just the whole family that lived in Pittsburgh went nuts during all 3 of Crosby's goals. Like, they went nuts. They were so pissed off when Ovechkin scored at the time, because obviously,
I believe Ovechkin's came first because I think Crosby's.
Ovechkin's was.
I think we were still down by 2, and then Crosby scored his third with 30 seconds left and a wild scramble in front of the net. It didn't matter, but it did because it was a hat trick. But we still ended up losing the game, obviously. But I remember that game too.
I remember it.
But instead of doing back-to-back blind rankings, I have 2 little fun things for us to do too.
okay.
These are just 12 players, the ages of the NHL stars when Marc-Andre Fleury made his debut.
Oh, I saw this.
Leon Draisaitl
He was 7.
was 7 years old. Austin Matthews and Connor McDavid were both 6 years old. Kill Marker was 4 years old. Oh, I'm just naturally say Marker now. Quinn Hughes was 3 years old. Jack was 2. Cole Caulfield was 2. Tim Stützle was 1. And then Juraj Slafkovsky, Matt V, Michkov, Connor Bedard, and Macklin Celebrini were all not born yet.
Wow.
That's wild.
I remember when San Jose was facing off against Minnesota. I think Fleury was playing in that game, and I think the stat popped up as the youngest player ever in the NHL, Celebrini, has scored against the oldest player in the NHL, Marc-Andre Fleury.
Yeah.
So.
And then I also have a little guessing game for you guys. These are the franchises that have defensemen as their all-time assist leaders. I just mentioned one of them earlier.
Vancouver with Quinn Hughes.
Yep. And then Victor Hedman's Tampa.
Yeah, what Jeffy said.
Vancouver must have just been passed because Vancouver's not on this list yet, so this must have been posted.
Yeah, that happened today.
Yeah.
Today, so that's probably why. And
I mentioned one earlier.
Which Jeffy said.
Which I had mentioned, Victor
Hedman at 590.
John Carlson with Washington? Would he be high?
Chris Letang should be up there with Pittsburgh.
Nope. This is all time. This isn't current.
Well, I'm saying all.
That's why. That's what we're both.
Well, you would think Letang has more assists than Lemieux did.
Oh, you said defensemen.
But yeah, this specifically franchises with defensemen as the all-time assists leader.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
There you go.
I thought you meant defenseman, specifically defenseman and specific
No.
franchises, not overall.
Overall.
Okay, now I understand.
So specific franchises that have a defenseman that leads their franchise in assists.
Not Anaheim, not Arizona when they were a franchise.
Correct.
Not
Boss.
Boston's a toss up.
Boss.
I don't think Boston because it would be Chara. Chara or McAvoy, but McAvoy didn't play long.
Ray Borg, wouldn't it?
Ray
Ray
Bork
Bork.
is the number one, actually.
Buffalo.
The most assists by any defenseman is 1,111. That's a perfect number. 1111.
Buffalo, that wouldn't be a thing. Carolina, that wouldn't be a thing. Calgary, that wouldn't be a thing.
Would it?
Colorado. Carolina?
No.
Okay.
Calgary.
Oh, that would be Mark Giordano then.
No.
Who would have been the other top premier defenseman out there?
Trying to think of all their. Because I know Chris Tanev wouldn't have been that high.
Yeah, I'm thinking like the more like.
This
On
would
thi-
have
on
been
this-
like 70s, 80s.
Oh,
Maybe
I was
going a little
saying-
bit into the 90s.
I was gonna say this side of Giordano wouldn't have happened.
No.
Like I'm sorry, Giordano would have been the last great defenseman.
Yeah.
Fuck.
trying-
During their big old cup runs there. Fuck. I don't know about Calgary.
yeah, that's
I'm not too familiar prior to Jerome
It is
McGinnis.
Mr. Al McGinnis.
Fuck!
So you're missing, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8?
Colorado, no, wouldn't be a thing because Kale Marker would be a big thing. Carolina, no, they really haven't had many superstar
No.
defensemen. Colorado, I just said Colorado. Dallas, a lot of their star D-men are way too young, so no way. Detroit, Nicholas Lindstrom is the first person that comes to mind.
That's
He's not on the list.
really.
The Russian Five. Where's Ethan? Where the fuck is Ethan? when we need him?
Detroit is not on the list at all. So.
Detroit. Okay, that makes it easier. But regardless, where would Ethan be?
I know.
EFGH.
I'm trying to think of because Toronto's had a lot of good defensemen over the years.
Toronto is on the list at 3, but who is it?
Dion.
No.
I'm between.
It's tough when the original 6 fucking
Is
team.
it
He would have been also like 60s, 70s.
Boreas song?
Boris Salming. Nice pull, Jeff. Boris
That's
Salming with 620 career assists. Remember, this is specifically franchises that have a defenseman as their all-time assist leader.
Minnesota doesn't have one. Nashville doesn't. Well, Nashville.
If it was
Okay, that face said something. Roman Yossi.
Roman Yossi. Number 6 for Nashville, 520.
What numbers do we have left?
2, 7, and 8.
I'm forgetting Edmonton with Paul Coffey. Or Paul Coffey's on the list somewhere.
Nope.
Okay. Well, that eliminates both Edmonton,
Yeah.
Pittsburgh, and Boston.
Well, you already did Boston at the beginning for Ray Bork.
Well, I'm just saying because
Just in general.
overall, that eliminates 3 teams. Shut up! We're trying to record in here. Oh, there's scraping record. Okay. Nashville, we did Roman Yossi. Islanders wouldn't have anybody. Rangers wouldn't have anybody. Okay, they would have
Rangers
somebody.
have somebody.
The Rangers have somebody. Big Rangers defenseman. Fox hasn't been around. Obviously, True was a fucking bum, so he wouldn't do shit.
So
other than
get out of the metro.
other than hit and hurt people, but
This might get away. I believe he was the Conn Smythe winner the last time the Rangers won the Stanley Cup.
so 92, 93. Oh no, 93, 94. Sorry, that doesn't fucking help me.
I might be wrong, but I believe he was the Conn Smythe winner.
I'm trying to remember what position he
Well,
is.
obviously defenseman.
I'm trying to figure out. I can't
The
remember.
player he's thinking of, he's trying to remember what position it is.
Well, who's the player?
I was thinking Brian Leach.
Brian Leach.
Oh,
Okay.
there we go.
Brian
I'll
Leach
see
at
if-
I just couldn't remember if
741.
he was a forward or defenseman.
I'll
So
say
just-
if you spit it out, then hopefully we can help him.
So just need 7 and 8.
I'm
I'm assuming somebody from Montreal.
Believe it or not, no.
Really?
Philadelphia.
Nope.
Pittsburgh is no.
Yeah.
Ottawa.
Nope. The last two are actually the two newest franchises in the league.
Vegas.
Well, not counting Utah.
Vegas.
So Vegas and Seattle.
Yeah, Seattle, but who are the two players?
So Seattle's going to be easier. So I feel like if we tackle them first.
Yeah,
So
because I know one of their top good defensemen is Vince Dunn in that.
Vince Dunn,
all right, and then-
115.
and Vegas. Who are their big defensemen?
McNabb.
Petrangelo.
McNabb, Petrangelo. Oh fuck.
Is it Peter Drella?
Theodore.
It's not
It's not
Petrangelo.
Petrangelo. He
Theodore.
wasn't around during the
Shea
original.
Theodore.
Oh, not
Shea
way to pull it out of your butt, Jeff.
I was trying to figure out all the other, and then I remember Theodore in that.
And I did also have a little list of just a couple things to discuss before moving on to Colin's other blind ranking. Do you guys see Charlie Lindgren's own goal?
Yeah.
It's rough to watch, man. Like, it is not funny to watch, but it's rough, but it's funny at the same time. Like, you feel bad for the kid because I'm pretty sure he's still pretty young. But it was rough. Another thing, obviously, talk about the heartwarming moment in Calgary. Columbus and Calgary playing each other. Both teams, all during warm-ups, every single player on the ice from both teams wearing Gaudreau's jersey, which
And then I know
had their
during-
family do like the opening puck drop.
And then the number one star for that night was the brother's father.
Father got the game puck at the end of the game.
Yeah, the father Goodrow. I forgot his first name, but Papa
They call it
Goodrow.
Papa Hockey or Daddy Hockey or something like
Papa
that.
Hockey.
Obviously, just like when he did in Columbus, he was like skating out with
Yeah.
all the guys.
It was just- I
during
think that's
practice and
one of the
Both
most-
in Columbus and
That's right.
Calgary.
One of-
I just said
One of the most heartwarming things I've ever seen. Literally, both teams. I mean, obviously that's the two teams he played for. Every single player on that ice in warm-ups was wearing that number.
One that I kind of liked, I thought was really cool, was there was somebody Calgary, but took all the sticks that were at the memorials in Calgary, took all the sticks and he turned all the hockey sticks into a bench in them. And,
Yeah, I think I saw a total of, I think it was 219 sticks or something like that.
And then obviously on
insane.
the plaque it said obviously in memory of Johnny and Matthew.
Johnny Hockey, yeah, it's
Which I thought that was kind of cool.
that's just something I wanted to bring up to the attention because it needs attention because that was one of the most heartwarming moments I've seen, at least in my lifetime, watching hockey and stuff, or honestly any sport. You know, it's been incredible to see the amount of people coming together for that. It's
Like again, it doesn't matter what team or what side they're on. You know, we're all human. We're all pushing towards one goal, and that's we're just fucking survive kind of thing. So.
Then the last thing, just a couple of big random trades that have happened the last week. Obviously, just the other day, Jacob Trouba being traded over to Anaheim
Fuck you, Truba!
Get out of the metro.
in exchange for Urho Vakinen and a 4th-round pick in 2025. Which I know there was rumors that Trouba was going to be moved in the offseason, like before the season started. You know, either they were going to buy out his contract and then he would be traded, or even just being traded altogether. And then, or he'd buy out his contract and then sign with somebody or trade him. And then
He
they never
almost
did.
went to Detroit. And
I know there was rumors that he was going to go to Detroit in the offseason. And he
Did
didn't.
you hear like how they got him to like drop or go from a no movement clause to a minimal no movement clause?
No.
So the story was that the Rangers management was like, hey, like go to minimal no trading clause, like no movement clause, or we're gonna put you on waivers and these teams are gonna pay you. So either you pick which teams you're willing to go to, or we're gonna pick for you,
Oh, wow.
kind of thing. So
So he chose Anaheim as one of them?
Yeah, Anaheim was one of them. I haven't seen the list.
I know I think they're on a decent streak right now. I know they've won like a bunch of games here recently.
Yeah, I just don't know what the other teams are that were willing to give up or what they were willing to give up. But Anaheim, I guess, is the team that they chose.
That was that was one that I was not expecting.
I'm just glad he's out of the Metro. That's all I care about.
There's two that happened on November 30th that I wasn't even aware of. Colorado traded their young goaltender Eustace Anunin to the Nashville Predators.
Bless you.
In exchange for goaltender Scott Wedgwood, which is somebody we had just mentioned
I did
earlier.
not see that one.
Me neither. I won't surprise the hell out of me. And then the Wild acquired defenseman David Jurasik and a 5th-round pick from the Blue Jackets in exchange for Damian Hunt, a 1st-round pick, 3rd and 4th rounds in 2026, and a 2nd in 2027. So apparently the Wild have a lot of hope for David Jurasik, as much as they gave up. And then obviously the one that has been working out really, really well for the Penguins so far, acquiring Philip Tomasino from the Nashville Predators in exchange for a 4th-rounder, which in the short amount of time he's gotten, I believe, like 3 goals and an assist in 5 games. He's looking really good.
He's looked good so far.
I was pretty happy about it when I heard about it. I was like, oh, 'cause, I mean, he's young, blanking on his name. Kyle Dubas is actually going out and getting us some young talent, which I very much enjoy. I'm very much all for. Yeah, I was exactly right. In 5 games, he has 3 goals and an assist. 4 points in 5 games for us so far. When he had played 11 for Nashville and had 1 assist. So I'm very happy with how he's been turning out. He's looked very, very good so far.
No. See, that's one thing with the Penguins. They just need to get more.
You need to get younger,
more depth, and
get a little bit younger on defense, and I think we're set. Which we have gotten a little bit younger, obviously. I know they just recently sent St. Ivany back down, but they brought up Owen Pickering's gotten a full-time position in the lineup. Ryan Shea has been in and out. He's been decently solid. Carlson's been playing a lot better, at least defensively. He might not be getting on the board, but he's doing better defensively. I know Grizzlick finally got his first as a Penguin. I think it was just yesterday. We're starting to come together as a team for the Penguins. Mm-hmm. We're on 1-4 of our last 5 games, so hoping that this is the start of a wake-up call and turn this team around a little bit. We've dug ourselves a pretty deep hole to climb out of to have a shot at the playoffs. But as long as we don't finish, don't finish at the bottom of the division, I'll be happy. I mean, I just don't want it to be one of those things where we find out on the last day of the season and then lose and find out we're not going again. Like pretty much the past 2 years, where it's came down to
I'd rather
the last 3 days of the season.
If they're not going to make the playoffs, I'd rather have them at least know we're not making and just at least prepare for the draft and that.
Yeah.
That's all
we could end up dropping as far as 11th or 12th, which that's projected where Malcolm Spence might end up dropping to. I'd like to see Malcolm Spence in a Penguins jersey, I'll tell you that. We all know Matt Schaefer is honestly, he's climbing his way up.
So he's top 3.
There's people debating that he might go first. Like, there's a lot of people with the way he's been playing.
We saw a couple weeks ago, there were a bunch of, not just Kyle Dubas and some Penguin scouts, but there were a bunch of scouts just a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. Dubas gonna trade Malkin to fucking Buffalo for the third overall pick. Imagine we get fucking Matt Schaefer.
Oh my god!
I'd be so happy. But Colin, I think we're ready for your second blind ranking here.
All right, best goalies.
Don't hit my car.
To never win a cup. Best goalies to never win a cup.
Okay.
First up, Curtis Joseph, Cujo.
He never won.
He never won a cup.
I think he's with Toronto forever, and then he was with Detroit for a short amount of time, wasn't he?
Yeah. I had them stop earlier, and I'm not.
Cujo never won a cup. That surprises me.
I would start him with at least number 2, because I'm sure there might be a better one.
Put him right in the middle, 3.
Oh.
I was honestly going to be with Bubba. I'd put him at 2, because he was good. I mean, he's
he's good. I just for a safe.
He's easily top 10 all time, but to not win, he's definitely he's up there.
All right, next up, Carey Price.
Fuck.
This is a tough list. I hope you know. I made this list.
I can already tell you right now. I know he's going to put Lundqvist on here somewhere.
I know there's one other one. I know he's going to put 2.
I hate to say it, do we want to put him at 4?
Price? No.
I'd say 3.
He's not 4. He could be 3. He could be
He's
1.
gonna-
Damn, we should have put Cujo at 3.
That's why
We put him at 3, or do we want to put Carey at 1?
I want to say Price at 3.
3? Okay. Fuck, this is going to be a tough one.
Next up, Bo was right. Henrik Lundqvist, the
Henrik
king
Lundqvist.
himself.
Well, I had said that, yeah.
Or you.
Did Boba
somebody.
too?
Somebody.
I said it too. Yeah.
1.
I'd play him at 1, or maybe 5.
Yeah.
No way.
I don't know.
Was he better than Price? I mean, in their prime? Fuck. Oh, God.
It's 1 or 4. That's the only my only.
1.
1.
Okay, this hurts.
Oh no, he's gonna have the last 2 we're gonna be punching ourselves, aren't we?
I guarantee I have a feeling one of the 2 he's gonna say.
Craig Anderson.
Okay, I mean, yeah, he was good for a couple years. I mean, no offense, he wasn't fantastic his entire
No.
career. He had some off years, being sick, and I think he was going through that stuff with his wife, who I
Yeah.
think had cancer at one point, so that definitely affected his game at one point.
Do we just put him at 5, and then
Based on Colin's reaction, yeah, I'm gonna put Anderson at 5 and put this last guy as high as we can.
This honestly really hurts.
Just type it. I want you to type it
know
out.
what he's gonna be.
Hold on.
I already know.
Oh, he's gonna play some audio,
Hold on.
not copywritten, by the way. Oh, who's it gonna be?
I know. I already. Yeah.
This hurts.
This one hurts.
I fucking hate you guys! I hate you guys so fucking much! I really fucking hate you guys!
We should have known what he put on.
You should have known! I have the Buffalo jersey on! I hate you guys! You guys are banned from my house! Forever!
Ryan Miller.
that's
God, my everything hurts!
This one hurts.
I would have been better. At least him at least 2.
I heard.
Okay? I'm serious, like, you guys gotta get out. I'll finish this fucking episode by myself.
That works. I gotta be up at 6 a.m.
Fuck you, sit down, fat fuck! You guys suck!
Ryan
God!
4.
This one hurts the most. I don't care about the other 4. I really don't.
Yeah.
He deserves to be number 1.
I would-
Call me biased. He deserves to be number 1.
I would agree.
God, I need to take a walk.
I mean,
Fuck you guys.
Lundqvist, Price, yeah, ear rape warning. So yeah, you're welcome.
He deserves to be fucking number 1. God.
I'm
Fucking
hurt.
Ryan Miller's goats.
Lundqvist, Price, and Miller. I mean, any of those 3 can be debatably number 1. I would have been okay with Miller and Joseph being swapped. Miller being
Yes.
at 2. I'd have been okay with that. And then you could even say Price and Lundqvist swap. Like, Lundqvist, Price, and Miller can all be interchangeable for number 1. You can have different arguments for all of them.
I'm so.
Yeah, that's rough.
I'm pissed.
I'm
actually
I mean,
fucking
it's
pissed.
a blind ranking for a reason. I mean,
I know,
we
but,
didn't
like-
we didn't know he was coming up, but
Well, I mean...
it should have been a dead giveaway that Colin put on his fucking Buffalo jersey. But
that one hurts, especially because of how much I just like.
we were at his jersey retirement game, for Christ's sake.
I know, that's why I said.
We watched them do like a final farewell to him, retiring his jersey number.
And put him into the Buffalo Sabres Hall of Fame, and that one hurts because he's my favorite, right behind Marc-Andre Fleury. Like, non-Penguins, definitely my favorite goalie of all time.
Like, most respected goaltender of all time. I mean,
That one's probably the one bothers me the most.
I shouldn't be that pissed off that, you guys,
Damn.
obviously it's a blind rank and you guys didn't know, but I tried to give you guys hints with the jersey, facial reactions, trying to look down my jersey real quick. I was hoping out of everybody that Bo was usually pretty damn good at picking up context clues like this. Like, I gotta give credit where credit's due, but he can be, he's probably one of the best aside from Ethan. But, like,
Yeah, that one's gonna go down in the record books for us. So
My heart is in my
So
gut.
Colin's gonna change all of our nicknames to Ryan Miller haters.
I would deserve it.
I'm
That's,
sure Colin's gonna change all of our nicknames.
well, he's going to now that you said it 3 times.
Do me a favor, label us 1, 2, and 3.
Like Phone Hider Pros 1 and 2.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Oh, that was so good. But
I still hate you.
yeah, that one hurts.
That one really hurts.
All right, before we wrap things up, the official Lions rosters or like the whole lineup pretty much, was officially released for the Four Nations Face-Offs teams. We're each just going to choose one and go over them. I chose Canada. We're going to go over the lineup and stuff. First line, they got Sam Bennett, Seth Jarvis, and Connor McDavid. Second, they got Anthony Cirelli, Travis Konechny, and Braden Point. Third line, they got Crosby on the wing with Nathan McKinnon and Sam Reinhart. And then Brandon Hagel, Brad Marchand, and Mark Stone. And then Mitch Marner is like a 13th fill-in for probably anywhere he could fit in. Defensemen, we got Cale Makar, Colton Parayko, Shea Theodore, Josh Morrissey, Alex Pietrangelo, Devon Tays, and then Travis Sanheim as well. Probably like the 7th defenseman. And goaltenders, we got Jordan Bennington, Aiden Hill, and Sam Montembeau.
All right, Bobo, who you got for Finland?
I got Finland! So, Jeffy's making me laugh. Fucking... For my forwards, my first line is Sebastian Aho, Eric Hula, and Anton Lundell. Second line, Joel Armia, Rupe Hintz, Eetu Luosterainen. Third line, Alexander Barkov, Capo Kakko, and Mikko Rantanen. Fourth line, Michael Grenlund, Patrick Laine, Tuvu Teravainen, and then the alternate is Atari Luukkonen. Defenseman, Yanni Holy Bless You, Hakapana. Hakapa.
Holy bless you.
I felt his eyes widen looking at that name.
Like,
Wasn't
what?
even looking at him. I could feel his eyes go.
Like, holy fuck, how do you say his name?
I felt his eyes go.
Like, oh.
Oh, God.
All right, pull it together. Whew.
Issa Lindell, Rasmus Ristolainen, second set of defensemen, Miro Heiskanen, Olli Mata, UC Valimaki, another holy bless you, and Nico.
Pull it together, guys. Come on. We got to finish this episode.
Nico McCullough is the alternate. And the goalies, Kevin Lankinen, Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen, and UC Saros.
That's funny.
They have 3 holy bless yous each one of the lines.
Alright.
I felt his eyes widen. I wasn't even looking at him. I could feel the
Look,
fear.
there's a bird marks through the TV right now because of it. So.
Well, Colin, what a new nickname again for me. It's holy bless you. How's that one?
Already did.
Oh, no.
Alright, moving on to Sweden. We have, for the forwards, you have Victor Arvidsson, Philip Forsberg, and then Gustav Nyquist, Jester Bratt, William Karlsson, and Elias Pettersson, Leo Carlson, Adrian Kempe, and Lucas Raymond.
He's Swedish?
I know, I didn't think he was Swedish either.
What?
Lucas Raymond. Joel Arkeson Ek, Elias Lindholm, and Mika Zibanejad. And then the alternate, William Nylander. And on defense is Anderson, Ramses Dahlin, Victor Hedman, Jonas Broden, Matthias Ekholm, Eric Carlson, and Gustav Forsland. And then your goaltenders are Philip Gustafson, Jacob Markstrom, and Linus Ullmark.
All right, Team US of A. Don't worry, there aren't any holding buses this one. But I think we should be set.
Bubba had it the worst.
I am so sorry we stuck with you.
He goes, Yanni, holy bless you.
I am so.
It was the first time I got the last time. I'm like, oh,
shit.
Got through the forwards decently fine, pretty confident.
All right.
Lord.
All right, for my forwards, I got Matt Goldie, Jack Hughes, Brock Nelson, Kyle Connor, Chris Kreider, Brady Tkachuk, Jack Eichel, Dylan Morgan, Matthew Tkachuk. Then we got Jake Gensel, Austin Matthews, Vinny Trocheck, with JT being the 13th forward. Then you got the defensive pairings right now, and Brock Faber, Adam Fox, Noah Hannafin, Quinn Hughes, Jakob Sabin, and Zach Werenski, with Charlie McAvoy being that 7th defenseman. And your goaltending trio is Connor Hellbuck, Jake Ottinger, and Jeremy Swayman.
Right, and then real quickly, I saw somebody on TikTok do this. I think if they were just going around, I think it was some studio. I wish I could remember who it was. They just asked, I don't know if it's been released or not, but if you could choose the captain for each roster, who are you choosing?
Sidney Crosby of Canada.
That's what pretty much everybody said.
Yeah.
They even asked McDavid, and he goes, it's Sidney Crosby. There's no question. McDavid himself said that shouldn't be a question. It's Sid.
I don't give a fuck who else is on the roster. Sidney Crosby is going to be a captain for Team Canada.
Yeah. Finland, who do we think it should be?
Probably either Patrick Laine or Kaapo Kakko.
I was honestly going to say Barkov.
I'd say Barkov.
Yeah, Barkov feels like a good fit. I mean,
Barkov is, I think, one of the only two, or the only one on, the only one on that list, I think, that actually is
a captain.
Yeah, other players that deserve a letter like an A is Aho, Laine, and Heiskanen.
I think, Laine, I think, could get one too, yeah.
Could potentially with an A, too.
Yeah,
as a 4th option, but either way, I think
it goes to Barkov. Barkov, or I wouldn't be mad if they get to Aho either, so.
And
then for Sweden, I'd probably say
Elias Pettersson or Lucas Raymond.
Yeah, I would say Philip Forsberg or Victor Hedman.
I was looking for.
I totally forgot about Hedman.
I was going to say either Hedman or Zibanejad. I think Zibanejad can do it too. Very easily be it. And then
I think Gustav Forsling should be a captain.
I think Yanni Bless you should be it. Right, we're done.
And then Team USA.
Yeah, there's a lot of choices for Team USA. It could be
Brady Tkachuk, Dylan Larkin, obviously current captains. Austin Matthews also current captain.
Hughes.
Could be Quinn Hughes. It could be Jack. It could be Matthew Tkachuk. There's easily 8 different choices you could choose from this.
I'll also say you got former captain Jack Eichel on there. Who's the captain? You got Jack Eichel on there, who could be it. Adam Fox, who could potentially be it.
If I had to choose a final vote, I'd be a toss-up between Matthews and Matthew Tkachuk, for me.
See, I agree with Matthews, but I think Dylan Larkin could be the other one.
Okay.
Captain America, pretty much.
Yeah, Captain America.
Seriously, you're in the Motor City, and you're captain of one of the shittiest teams well, not one of the shittiest teams, a shitty team.
Yeah.
I was thinking one of the Tkachuk brothers.
That's what I said. I said either Austin Matthews or Matthew Tkachuk.
I said my two would be Matthews and then Matthew Tkachuk.
I was going to say, Brady obviously wears that C up in Ottawa, and then Matthews only wears A. The best he's ever gotten is an A, and that's mostly in Florida.
Otis wants to close out the show with us.
Jeff, got anything else?
Nope.
I don't think so.
Kyle?
I can scroll through.
Shoot!
That's good. Otis, you got anything else, Bubba?
He's just looking.
He's just looking around. All right, that'll do it. I'm surprised this cat isn't vocal now, as he was when Kyle walked in. All right, that's it. Normal outro.
Yeah, weird baiting. We think we may be back for the next 2 consecutive weeks, and then take our holiday break that we do every year. And then, so we're thinking the 15th, the 22nd for recording dates, and then return back would be the 5th of January?
The 5th, and the new episode of the new calendar year would be January 6th at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
That never changes, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, unless we have either editing or just scheduling issues. But you guys know it always comes out 11 a.m. Monday morning, the morning after recording. So, Yeah, that about does it.
Yeah, normal outro bullshit that you've heard every single episode, every single season, ever since day one.
Yeah.
Minus a couple additions to social media. But oh, wow. Alright. Well, until we meet again, we are... Yeah! Buckbusters Podcast.
Scares me every fucking time.
We are your Buckbusters Podcast. Peace out, guys.
See ya.
Peace.